Picture this, you're sitting in a courtroom. The air is thick with tension. A judge is about to deliver a sentence that will end someone's life. But before that gavel falls, you hear stories so disturbing, so incomprehensible, that they shake your understanding of human nature. What drives a 19-year-old to carry a piece of someone's skull as a trophy? What makes a teenager walk into a church and commit an act of unimaginable horror? And how does a 15-year-old become involved in crimes that result in decades behind bars? Today, we're diving deep into some of the most shocking death row and life sentence cases in American criminal history. These aren't just stories about crimes, they're windows into the darkest corners of the human psyche. Stories that made judges break down, that made hardened prosecutors pause, and that left entire communities asking one question: why? I need to warn you right now, what you're about to hear is disturbing. These are real cases involving real victims and real families whose lives were shattered forever. But these stories need to be told, because understanding how these tragedies happen is the first step in preventing them. So buckle up, turn off distractions, because for the next 40 minutes, we're going to explore cases where the justice system had to grapple with the absolute worst of humanity. From teenage killers to calculated murderers, from crimes of passion to acts of pure evil, these are the cases that made America ask, is there any punishment severe enough? Let's begin. Our first case takes us to Tennessee in 1995, and it involves one of the youngest women ever sentenced to death row in the United States. Krista Pike was only 19 years old. She should have been thinking about her future, maybe college, relationships, building a life. Instead, she was consumed by jealousy, a jealousy so intense that it would lead to one of the most brutal murders in Tennessee history. The victim was Colleen Slemmer, also just 19 years old. Krista convinced herself, wrongly, that Colleen was trying to steal her boyfriend. There was no evidence of this, no proof, just paranoid thoughts that festered in Krista's mind until they exploded into violence. On a cold January night, Krista, along with her boyfriend Tadaril Shipp and friend Shadala Peterson, lured Colleen out of her dormitory and into the woods. What happened next is almost too horrific to describe. The attack was prolonged and sadistic. Colleen was beaten with an asphalt chunk. She was slashed repeatedly. But the detail that truly shocked investigators was this: Krista and her boyfriend carved a pentagram into Colleen's chest while she was still alive. And then, and this is what made even seasoned investigators pause, Krista took a piece of Colleen's skull as a trophy. She wrapped it in a napkin and carried it in her coat pocket, showing it off like some kind of macabre prize. When police found the body and traced the evidence back to Krista, she didn't deny it. In fact, during her interrogation, she showed a chilling lack of remorse. She admitted she knew exactly what she was doing. She said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that she was taking out years of her own pain on Colleen.